I recommend this. So Anbernic are back at it again with the same H700 quad core chip. And although it's been done so many times now, I think it's hard to get bored when they do stuff like this. This is Anbernic's latest RG35XX SP. That's right, more letters to add to the 35XX name. Awesome stuff. Thank you, Anbernic, for sending this review unit to me and this awesome case. This is indeed reminiscent to the Game Boy Advance SP. And you know what, out of all these colors, I think this silver one is probably the one to go for. It's the best one out there. Although, I don't know, I kind of like that gray with the purple buttons as well. I quite like that one, so I might have to add that to my arsenal as well. Either way, the silver is a great choice. I have to give it to you, Anbernic. You've hit the nail on the head with this one. And as I said before, although this H700 quad core chip has been done to death, you found new and innovative ways to bring that chip back out. And do you know what? Doing this was a good choice. We've all been waiting for a decent clamshell device to come out. This is a great, can I call it replica? Yeah, this is a great replica of the once Game Boy Advance SP. Everything down to the buttons, the size, albeit a little bit more chunky than the regular Game Boy Advance SP. I specifically remember when this thing first came out, I was killing myself at work doing those double shifts so I can rustle up that extra cash to go and run out and buy one of these devices. And all I was thinking to myself is, it's got that backlit display. Here we are back again, 2024, with that same feeling, that same nostalgic feeling to just run out there and grab one of these. So without further ado, let's head over to the table and take a good look. So as well as the box on the side there, you do get this really cool case in which the device will fit inside of it nice and snug. Taking off the top cover of the box, and you will see that the unit is just sitting right there. We'll just grab that and take it out. So inside you're going to see the essential bits, which are the wipes. You use a manual. We'll also get a screen protector with that. And last but not least, you will have your USB Type-C cable right here. Touring around the RG35XX SP, we're going to start off with the front here. You've got your headphone jack, your TF1 slot. This is where your firmware SD card will go. If you've got this from stock, this one came with a 64 gig SD card. It's got the firmware and games on there. But don't put games in there all by themselves. You need the firmware to run in this left slot here. On the right slot, you can put your games only in there, and that will go up to a 512. On the side, you've got your LED indicators, so that will indicate when it's charging or when the power's on. You've also got your power button, your reset button, and those are recessed, so you shouldn't really knock those by accident. You'd have to press in there quite a bit. Along the back, you've got your L1, your L2, R2, R1, the USB and OTG ports right here, and you've got your HDMI out. I believe it's a mini HDMI out. And feeling these triggers, they don't feel bad. They're nice, they're clicky and still tactile, not overly loud. So I like that. On the left side right here, you've got your volume rocker, and that's also recessed, much like the power button and the reset button. Along the back, very reminiscent to the Game Boy Advance SP. Once you unscrew it and take this plate off, it will give you access to the battery and other components as well. You've got your 4 screws and these little plastic sort of nubs. They're obviously to keep it so it's not completely flat on the table or a flat surface. Got some movement there. Now opening it up, we've got the beautiful IPS display. This is the same display that I believe is in the RG35XXH and Plus models. So it's got that size as well. If you want to see more of the specs again, just click the link in the description below. You got your layout right here, your A, your B, your X, your Y, your D-pad, menu button. You've also got your speaker grill, start and select buttons. Now, I've heard that people may be a bit disturbed by how clicky this is because of the dome switches that are underneath here. It's much like the Game Boy Advance SP, but maybe it's just a bit more clicky. I think that over time it will probably not be as hard or as loud. Personally,
I don't care!
And I'm okay with that. I think that works fine. It does the job. I'm going to do a fireball test. You'll see what I mean by that later, just to see how it is. But you know something, I've also thought about what it would look like if they added those, you know, much like the 3DS, the sort of slider analog stick. I think that could work on a device like this. Maybe shrink the buttons a little bit more or push them up a little bit and have them here. And I think it could work. It's nice and it's cozy. Overall, it feels cozy. It doesn't feel particularly cramped. You know what I mean? I mean, my hands ain't the biggest. Oi. But I don't think it would have been a bad idea. Maybe the next one. But Anbernic, if you do another model like this, give it a bit more kick, which probably means it would need to be a little bit thicker. I don't mind. So yeah, that's around the device. Unfortunately, I don't have a Game Boy Advance SP to compare it to. So the only other flip device I do have is the cute, funky S right here. And just look at that. Both of them inspired by. Very, very cool. But yeah, that's tiny. But to put it into more of a perspective, I've got the 35XX Plus right here. So you can see that. Then we're gonna put it next to the old Game Boy Color, as you can see there. I think the only device that comes close to it in terms of length would be the good old DMG, which you can see there. So yeah. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with this particular lineup of devices, let's run through these specs. So we do get a bunch of colors that are available to us. We've got silver, we've got gray, we've got black transparent, and we've got blue transparent. Those transparent colors do have a unique feature, which you can unscrew and take off this top back plate. You can shove a picture in there so you can display your own image, which is very cool. Wish I had that. The display itself, 3.5-inch IPS full viewing angle, OCA full lamination 640 by 480. I'm just reading it off. The CPU is again the H700 quad-core ARM Cortex A53 at 1.5 GHz frequency. The GPU is a dual-core Mali G31 MP2. The RAM, LPDDR4 at 1 gig. This does have expandable storage. At the moment, this particular unit has come with a 64 gig SD card. This is running a Linux system, as it would. It does have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth capabilities, although the Bluetooth is not going to be for audio, it's only going to be for adding an extra controller to it. Multimedia, it plays a bunch of multimedias, MP4, 3GP, ASF, MOV, and all of those wonderful things. I will leave a link in the description below so you can have a look at these specs in greater detail. Oh, and then going back to the TF card slots, as I said, this one comes with a 64 gig, but it is expandable up to a 512 GB SD card. So that's very, very cool. The battery is a 3300 mAh lasting up to 8 hours. This is obviously dependent upon the type of games that you're playing. The more demanding games are going to suck up a lot more juice. Okay, so let's power this bad boy on. As you know, when you first turn it on, it takes a little while for it to actually boot up. There we go. So we've got that lovely green power LED light on right there, which is always good. Hopefully it doesn't take too long, but you know how it is. The Anbernic logo right there. Moving on. There, look, it's brightened up a little bit now. Let's go. Get in there. I don't know, you can get, all right, here we are, we're back here. And it is the traditional minimalistic sort of UI that Anbernic use with their stock OS. And that's very cool. You see a little Game Boy, you see a little RG35XX SP right there, which is cool. And I think that's unique to each of these H700 quad-core chip devices that we have, each to their own. So let's just go through. So you've got your games room right here, which you have your standalone. I did put an SD card in there, which is, I just preloaded that. And inside you have PSP, PS1, Vertical Arcade, CPS1, 2 and 3, Neo Geo, Final Burn, MAME, Game Boy Advance, which is exactly what this needs to be played on, NES, SNES, SMS for Sega Master System, Mega Drive, Sega 32X, Game Boy Color, Game Boy, PC Engine, Neo Geo Pocket, Game Gear, and Wonder Swan, the useless Wonder Swan that I never get to play because I don't know what kind of games to play on this thing. And it's probably because Wonder Swan is all in Japanese. So if any of you guys have got any good games that I can play for Wonder Swan, recommend that and drop that in the comments below, please, because I do want to start playing it. I just don't know what to play. All right, moving on. You've got your RA games as well. So these are all the games that you can open up through RetroArch as well. Out of the two of these, I would say go to the RetroArch games and just jump into gaming from there, because a lot of these are already configured and tweaked to the way you want them to play. Although you may need to do a little bit of tweaking later on, which is not a big deal really. But especially because things like the borders, like the Game Boy Advance SP borders, which I'll show you a bit later, is already built into it as well, which is very, very cool. And I like stuff like that. You got your favorites, you got your history, you got your search, which is cool. Just search for what game you want to play. Oh, sorry, shaking the camera. You got your app center, so you got your music, video, ebook, file manager, expert, and apps. You do have your settings right here. So this is things like system information, lock screen, brightness. Yeah, brightness level 5. You got your controller test as well, which is IO test and such delights. Let's get into some gameplay finally. So here we go. We're jumping into some Capcom vs SNK 2 for the Sega Dreamcast. It's nice. The volume's up as well. Let's turn that down a bit. And that's only at level 10, and it was at level 11, and it's quite loud. So the test I was telling you about is the 10 fireball test. That's what I'm going to test. I haven't seen anybody do that. So let's just see how consistent we can get these fireballs out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 10 fireballs in a row. No issues. Let's jump in. Combo it in. So it is fairly consistent. Hurricane kick. Yep. Dragon punch. Yep, that's pretty decent. Missed one there. But yeah, okay. Getting into some Game Boy Advance. I mean, if we can't play a Game Boy Advance game on a RG35XX SP, then what can you do? This is the perfect device for it. It looks good. And there's that border that I was speaking about earlier. Let's go. Come on. All right, here we are. Okay. Let's move. Let's move. Boom. I'm off. Look, turboed out. Let's get those greens. Oh, what my... Oh my gosh. Let's go. Let's go. Now I'm going to have to fight to catch up. It feels good. It feels cozy. It's not too close. I'm not particularly great at this game, but here it is. Yeah, man. Look, it's decent. I'm trash at this game. Goosing. Let's go, man. Pick up some speed. Okay, let's jump into some PSP with Ridge Racer. We're choosing the 765 track. I always go for the Arch Property. That's my vehicle. Love the way it looks. This game still holds up today, man. I like this. Let's go. Let's get moving. Now loading. There we go. We've got the good old Blue Disco song. Let's go. Let's rev the engines. Let's get moving. And it looks good as well. Viewing angles are not too shabby. Sounds good. Let's see if I can get some of that nitros real quick. And it's relatively smooth as well. Doing all right. Look. Hey, look. Yes. Wait, drifting. I need more speed. More speed. Let's go. Yeah, this game's looking good, man. It's feeling smooth. It's running decently. And all on this SP as well. Imagine how this would have been back in the day. Oh, there we go. Bit choppy there, but powers through. May need to do a little bit of a tweak. Oh, all right. Big corner. Oh, I crashed, but I still got around it. Yeah, man. Wait, there's something I want to test out as well. There, so the sleep function does actually work, which is cool. Although I like to save my battery power, and I will turn my device off straight away. I mean, I'm just holding the power button now. And there you go. See you later. See you later. So yeah, well done Anbernic on this one. This is a clamshell that we've all been waiting for. What a cool piece of kit this is. You've done a great job here. It's not perfect, but you've done a fantastic job. Guys, let me know your thoughts on the RG35XX SP. If you're going to grab one, if you're not going to grab one, what color are you going to get? Questions, comments and concerns, leave them below. I hope you liked the video. Take care, stay safe, and peace.